Sport in South Africa and the safety of minors are again under scrutiny. The sports environment has previously been disgraced by cases of assault. Former tennis star Bob Hewitt was convicted of raping 2 young girls and sexually assaulting another while he was coaching in the 1980s and 1990s. The now 79-year-old was granted parole in April this year. In a more recent case, Parktown Boys High School's assistant water polo coach Colin Ricks was sentenced to an effective 23 years in prison on 144 counts of sexual assault and 12 of common assault. Now, swimming governing body Swim SA has come under fire for failing to provide the contents of a report that details investigations into one of its employees. Mr. X, as he's referred to, is accused of sexually assaulting 4 women he trained and later coached. One of the women, who was 10 years old at the time, broke her silence.
The only reason that I'm emotional today is that at last somebody is listening. And somebody is hearing me. What this man did to me was give me a life sentence, and he has gone on to have a wonderful life, to be praised, to be applauded, to be hero worshipped. My abuse started in 1979, and again, I don't want to go into the details of that. That is not what we're here for. But it went on for approximately 6 years.
According to Wade, her alleged perpetrator is the son of a prominent coach, and at the time of the assault, he was 13 years old. As a result of the alleged abuse, she suffers from depression and began therapy, where she would learn of more victims.
This is not just about my abuse, but this is about the fact that I had to hear 24 years later that this person continued to abuse other girls.
Wade reported the matter to law enforcement as well as to swimming authorities 17 years ago, but was not assisted. This year, Swimming South Africa appointed an attorney to investigate the matter. A report was concluded in September. Women and Men Against Child Abuse say the matter was not handled properly and should have been handed over to relevant authorities.
I believe that in itself, in the spirit of the Sexual Offences Act, which says that we must report cases immediately to the police, the reason it says that is to stop people covering things up, because they have vested interests within the relationships that are held within the context that the abuse happens. So what we are asking very directly is that Swimming South Africa, well, Mr. Fritz in particular, hands that report over to the correct authorities. That's actually all we're asking.
In light of this, Lamprecht warns parents of acts of sexual grooming.
If a coach or a teacher or a piano instructor or whatever pays more attention to your child than you, take them away from that person entirely. As we look at the various forms of denial, so they're psychological defenses, not legal defenses. And the first is denial of fact. It did not happen. Then there starts being denial of responsibility. Yes, but it was consensual. Then there's denial of impact. And this is where we need to be very careful as a society. It was just children experimenting. It is not so. Okay. Children really hurt other children and cause them severe harm. And we spent many, many years trying to explain to people that teenagers who abuse children are abusive.
In its media statement, Swimming SA confirms receiving 2 cases of sexual assault. It says investigations are still underway and does not indicate when the report will be released. The governing body says until the investigation is concluded, no further public comments will be made. With the probe still underway, Swim SA says it is unable to confirm the identity of any of the parties involved. Nasipho Mncube, SABC News, Johannesburg.